All right. It is the 3rd of May. Yay. Been a busy week for me, but we have a couple things to do tonight besides check in and do our frequencies also is decide what we're doing going forward. So we'll do that, but let's check in first, then let's do that. Then let's dive into our frequencies. And I have something else I want to share about anyway. So we'll just see where it goes. So I kind of checked in before we recorded. Other than that, everything's good. Life's good. It's busy. We go home on Monday. Home to the other home. Arkansas on Monday. So I'm in my, I don't want to leave. I could go home. Oh, I could be home. That I do every single time. That's it for me. So Linda, you're unmuted. So let's just start with you.
Okay. Well, I'm doing good. Considering all this is the week before I leave on Thursday to go to Florida, meet up with my twin sister and bring her to my mom's house and spend a week together, which will be delightful, Mother's Day weekend. And my older sister, who used to live she lived in near Denver for about 45 years and recently moved to Florida. And it's about an hour and a half away from her. So we're going to one day take a drive down. And her husband's not, he just doesn't get around as well. So he doesn't like the trip up there. So we're going to go down. We want to see the new house and everything anyway. So we're going to make a day of that. And Mom's very excited about getting out of the house and going on a little trip and stuff. So, so that part's great. And the part that's been crazy here is trying to get all my loose ends and things prepared for all the jobs that I'm going to just hit the ball running when, I get back. And there's still a couple of them that I don't have substitutes for and things like that. So just knowing all that's going to work out fine. And I'm even made a huge dent in my room, and I'm a lot of it's out in the hallway. So I do have to bring it back in, but we're in stages, and at least this is, I've had 4 days I'm having to the house to myself. So I've been able to spread out a lot, and it's been really nice. And I'm really tired, but other than being really tired, I'm really feeling grateful and productive and on that. Awesome. Sometimes still judging myself for not being as productive as I think I should be, but I'm tired. so I'm glad. I'm happy mostly. Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, now.
Okay, we're going to have to toss the coin. I'm low energy and physically going through some stuff in a hip area, so I'm trying to be present, and that's the best effort I can give is to attempt to be present, and because sitting is uncomfortable with whatever got pulled. I know way too much about the gluteus medius maximus, all the crap that's up in that part. Anyway, not too much about it, but so I'm having that experience since over the weekend and through today. So I don't have much to say. I've been real low. There's not much you can do except let this heal. So my yesterday and today, I thought I was going to take one day and give it its due, and it didn't want just one day, it wanted 2 days, and then we'll see where it goes. And knowing that we supposedly have this big walking trip up in, that'll involve a lot of walking up in Chicago this weekend. I have to admit, I'm not uh, very anticipatory about that right now, but we'll see what happens after some sessions and some rest. So that's where I am. And I have a kitty who's vying for attention, and we love to lay across and look at all of you. And we're having a stare off at the moment. Life is good.
Awesome. I mean, not awesome that your hip's in pain, but awesome about the cat. Awesome that you're giving it rest.
Well, I had to check Google to see when Mercury retrograde periods are. It sure felt like one today. And but it doesn't start until May the 10th.
Oh,
I mean, it's slowing down and sitting there in direct or, whatever, not quite moving forward, but in whatever case, it just seemed like one of those days. We've have a project where, we're proceeding down the superhighway of completion, and somebody says, "Oh, you know what? You didn't do such and such," and which was out of the pattern of what this project was supposed to do. So we started analyzing it, and it's like half of the project needs to be redone because of things that were, not communicated initially. So it's a bit frustrating, especially as it's one of the higher priority projects in my organization, and a lot of pressure to get that back on track now. And the other thing is, I've been trying to align with Annie and her husband on a schedule for what's going to happen when we're up there. We told them we'd take them to dinner at a nice restaurant, which you just can't do in the spur of the moment in Chicago. I mean, pretty much you have to have reservations. So we still haven't heard from them, and I'm thinking that NC SIP may be just a thing. No, sorry, Nancy, we'll take care of you here. Anyway, so we're debating whether or not we really want to go. I mean, we want to go, but is it something that we can easily do? I mean, they've got all kinds of things on their end that is, they got people coming in town who are fellow graduates that they haven't seen since she went to school in 2020. And her mom's coming in. So she's got time to segregate there. So I'm thinking about making a proposal that just says, hey, why don't we pick a time when we can actually have you to ourselves? We'll celebrate them. And but I know that missing a big event may be more important than having time. So we'll see. Something I've got to deal with over the next 24 hours.
is it her graduation? Is that what the gathering is?
Yeah, the graduation from 2020
Right, got it.
was postponed because of the. No, it's 2020. It's on the invitation. So those are the kind of things that have been kind of, swimming around in my mind space today. And so it hasn't been one of those overly productive days. Although there's been busyness, So I guess that's where I'm at right now.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks. Kate.
I think that Mercury must be in quadruple retrograde at the moment. That's all I can say, because listen to everyone and listen to me. I am grumpy. Grumpy. You too. I'm still working on this project, and this person, as I've spoken of before, is my partner that just really doesn't put a lot of fine attention or focus on anything. So I've been doing the majority of the work for 2.5 years, and now I I will be working at no payment to me for the next month and a half because I can't make any additional money and still have insurance. So I'm having to work my butt off to do things that she just doesn't care to do. Doesn't know how to do and won't do well. And I mean, I could just dump it in her lap, but she'd screw it all up and then I'd have to fix it all. So I'm not doing that. So, and she's talking to me about, oh, we have money to spend. I think I'll go stay in a hotel in here and go stay in a hotel there and go stay and do this. And so when I speak to her again, I'm going to tell her that when I will do all this work, but I don't want to hear how she's going to spend the rest of the money. You know, just figure it out. But I did a really lovely thing for myself this week. And I told him I couldn't be at the support group Monday night because there's 4 other staff there. They don't need me. So I'm trying to share, and I didn't go to the training this morning. She'd rather do it herself anyway, because then she doesn't have to follow the protocol. So if I'm not there, she doesn't have to follow the protocol. So I'm like, fine. So I'm going to try and shave myself out of whatever I can. And, you know, I will not let the project fail. I'm not going to do that. But I have to really work hard with myself because now I'm just like pissed. And I think it's because I've been doing this for 2.5 years. You know, and I'm like, okay, so it's all, I mean, you know, when you get to almost over and you're like, I can see it. So I'm trying to keep myself nice and balanced, but it's so interesting because I'm having the retrograde experience and like everything until I got my little surprise in the mail today. My thing I ordered already came, but like I've been working for a month to try and get PayPal to pay back money that was put into my account fraudulently from a friend's account. And it's just it's a nightmare. First, I had to hook up my checking account to PayPal so that I could deposit money into PayPal so I could pay back this fraudulent money, which they told me not to, you know, unless they come get you, you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, no. So then I put the money in, then you had to wait like, so that's like the 85,000th call. Then I had to wait so many days until it processed. And then because I made a PayPal charge, which I didn't realize, it took the money out of that account.
Oh, no.
So then when I went to try and get it to, now I don't have enough money. So they paid one of the fraudulent things back, but now I had to put more money in and wait 5 more days. You know, I'm just kind of, at some point it just gets ridiculous. My order for work got totally screwed up. It's just like one thing after another. We went to a fast food restaurant on Sunday, came home and had all the wrong items, none of which I could eat. You know, and sure, it was just like, I mean, I'm like, you know, I didn't just order that without a bun because I didn't like a bun. It's because I can't eat a bun, you know, so I tried to get a hold of them to say, what do you want to do about this? I don't care about that anymore. But it's just been like day after day, ever since the internet fiasco. It's like everything I touch is like, ooh, this is inviting me to let go of all this anxiety and anger I apparently had inside from the last 2.5 years. So it's all coming flowing out. So I just say to people, yeah, don't even ask me. Just don't. We're going to a hermitage retreat this weekend though for a couple days. I've already decided that's never going to be long enough. So I'm going to go back for 7 days as my own gift to myself when I finish this project. And I just kind of, I go between laughing and being like, okay, just breathe, just breathe. None of this is that important. But sometimes when you get that buildup thing, it feels really silly important. I made a really silly mistake and tried to set up a gathering for my family to get together for my niece's graduation. And trying to get my family together is like trying to herd feral cats. It's like not going to happen. So pretty soon I was like, you know what? Never mind. I don't think we'll do this right now. And then they're all like, well, we want to get together. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So I'm just kind of laughing. I think I'm probably really hard to live with right now. Looking forward to the weekend. And then I'm going to make my next reservation so that I know that it's coming. And I had a delightful time saying, you know what, not coming to the support group. You know what, can't make it to the training. And she's like, why, what's wrong? I'm like, just can't do it. Have a nice day. You know, so I think I'm just having that accumulation thing. And I swear the last time that I had a bad experience when Mercury was in retrograde, I said I was going to lock myself in a room the next time for like the whole time. And now I'm just going, oh, whatever. So I go back and forth from that. But yeah, I'm kind of grumpy. But you know, I'm still me, but I'm just kind of grumpy. So that's where I am. I hope we can do some wonderful, wonderful vibrations today to grump the grump out of me. because that would be lovely. And then also, this is just funny. I think I'm torturing myself. I decided to do the reverse Clark protocol for fasting because it's so good for your health. But that means I'm fasting for 5 days right now. Now, is that a good idea? I'm thinking I might not do that. So I'm through day 2 though, but the achiever part of me is like, you've already made it through day 2. You only have 3 days to go. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe Mercury will go away. I know TMI, right? Okay, done.
Okay, done. Oh my God, I love you guys so much. So let's take just a minute to do the moving forward, because when we're done today, I have another call right there. I'm not laughing. Yeah, we're all laughing because we're all kind of in the same, different versions of the same reality. So what I proposed, and I'm not.
Hey, Eliza, if this is the wokeness that so many are afraid of, you can hear us amongst ourselves right now, just going, this is as woke as it feels today.
Well, today, right? Yeah. And I don't know if it's about Mercury anymore, but the solar flares are still flaring and the planets are doing weird stuff, and it's not far off a new moon, and it's just a wild world. So we get to navigate it. So what I proposed was an every other week. Somebody suggested even 3 weeks or even 4 weeks, but the one I can't, to adjust the time. So where are you at right now? How do you feel about next Tuesday? I cannot meet at this time. I could meet later, but I cannot meet at this time. But are you good with every other week for at least the month of May, or maybe moving forward, see how it goes? Just a voice, kind of, where are you at? What would you love?
What I read in your email, you said the first and third Tuesdays.
Oh yeah, not every other, first and third, yeah.
That works for me.
I'm good with whatever anybody says, whatever the group decides. I like the other, every other day, every other week also.
Okay.
Every other week versus first and third, or first and third?
I have to do first and third because I can't do the second, at least at this.
Okay, got it.
If there's a fifth, we could do the fifth also.
May has the 31st is the third week would be.
Okay.
So there's 3 weeks in May.
Also Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, but it's
Part of that.
after that.
At the end.
Yeah.
Hey, are you going to tell us if you get Springfield?
I got Springfield.
I started looking at Trulia from Maryville today. Ask me why. It's just because everything about Texas was irritating me, and everything about the federal system was irritating me. I'm going to go back home.
Yeah, right.
It's not home, but it's good enough.
Well, come to Springfield.
Yeah, well,
We'll have a gathering there.
just up the road.
Yeah, it's not far from Kate.
Not far.
We'll all get together.
So, and that's their board meeting is Tuesdays at either 4 or 5 Central Time on the second Tuesday of every month. So that is my conflict. All right. So I think everybody said yes, but give me your thumb. Yeah.
Yes, to what?
So I'll rework the payment things and get with you about how that looks. So we will do 2 weeks from tonight, and then we'll also do the 31st, and then we'll do first and third through the next few months until we go, let's look at this again. Are we good about that? So May, June, July?
Yeah, because I'll just say, if somewhere I had it in my head, just not in Steve's, but taking I think we took a break in December,
January, because I was in Mexico.
and that was good. And sometimes even a summer one, just that a brief before we start, like a fall swing that takes us through, that end of December and whatever would be good. So I was kind of thinking in August for me, if it was.
August works for me to have a break because I know I've got some family things going on in August.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking
You'll
at.
all miss my birthday if we don't get
Oh,
together in
What
August.
day? What day?
Just teasing you. I'm a 7th.
Okay, so we'll have to do August 7th, but then the rest.
I'm just teasing you. So we're gonna do this week. We did last week and this week. Then we're gonna skip next week and do the 24th, which is actually the 4th week. And then the 5th week and then do 1st and 3rd after that.
Wait, what? Let me pull it up. We're gonna do the 10th. Oh, I see what we're doing because this is, yeah, and the 24th and the 31st.
Okay.
10th, 24th, 31st. I'll
I'm
send,
gonna be gone, just a heads up. I'm gonna be gone on the 24th.
okay.
I thought you said you weren't available on the 10th, the second week.
Oh, wait. Thank you. I'm not
So-
available on the 10th. So we're in the 3rd, the 17th and the 30th.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Thank you. Somebody keep track of us.
So we're gonna do the
We're
3rd, the 17th and the 31st. Okay,
Right.
Of
Got it.
what?
And then we might, for June, if we go in, it'll be,
Hey, Steve.
if you skip a week, it would be the second week, so you can't do that. So we might want to
We're
do.
just the
Just
second week.
We'll stay the 1st and 3rd, even though we'll have 2 in a row.
Okay.
But the,
We're already at the second week right now.
gotcha.
I thought we were too, Steve, but we're actually at the 1st week because I was confused because last week, then we were gonna go into this week. Anyway, I have my calendar in
No.
front of me now and I'm a
Me
little
too.
less confused.
Oh,
All right, I will send the dates. I'll send everybody an email with the dates and
Thank you.
we'll just, instead of trying to figure out how to count the 1st and the 3rd. All right,
because that retrograde does start on the 10th, so we definitely can't do the 10th.
right.
June and July are easy. Yeah, so
Oh my God. All right, what are we gonna run today? Should we do something,
Can you do something about the retrograde?
well, let's see what we can do.
Just kidding.
I mean, right,
I
but why
think
not?
there is, I think there is something about planetary influences, some, you know.
Stevie, did you say it didn't start yet?
Doesn't start until May the 10th.
We're just early achievers.
Yeah.
Well, exactly, we're ahead of the game. So by the,
Yes, we are.
we'll be fine. We'll be sailing. There is a planetary one. It's in the protection. And the protection is also called defense, Healy defense. I don't have Healy defense. Let's see if I have Healy protection. Oh, that's funny. I don't see it. I don't see it right now. So how about like meridians or something different, or maybe, or what do you want?
What did you say? Which ones did you say? Meridians or what?
Gems. Gems, Alaska gems.
I just
Okay with either.
want to fly to Mesa and have you use that wand on me. That's all I want.
Well, come on over.
I know, you're just down the road. Don't tempt me.
I know. Well, on Monday, I'll be just down the road. Yeah. And that was Kate's surprise. She ordered one and got one in the
I
mail.
got my wand today and it was supposed to not be here till, I don't know, a month.
Like weeks. And it showed,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Can you send long distance?
I'll try.
Okay, it's the left side,
Okay.
upper glute. Okay, got it.
Okay. What did we decide?
Let's do meridians.
Okay. We're
I
going to do
haven't done that in a while.
Meridians 1. There's 2 different programs, but we'll do Meridians 1. So, in spite of, in the midst of everything going on in our country and in the globe, in spite of, in the midst of all of that, all is well and it is done. Because we are quantum shifting ourselves, the world, the planet, the country in miraculous outcomes, because we are making quantum leaps in miraculous outcomes. We're holding that to be true, and we'll analyze starting now. And we got the allergy, the bladder, the fatty degeneration, the skin, and the connective tissue. So those are all the different meridians, which touch on all the different aspects of meridian science, but that's all I know about them in this moment. So 5.
What did you say about tissue? Connective?
Yeah.
Could you just repeat them all for me?
Yeah.
real quick?
Yep. Allergy meridian, bladder meridian, fatty degeneration, skin, and connective tissue. And the allergy is high. It's at 71.
Yeah, yeah.
Allergic to the world right now. And I know my eyes, back behind my eyes, are so sore today. I don't know what that's about. Weird. All right, let us lean into the possibilities that everything we're experiencing is opening the way for the miraculous. Lean into and let yourself be lifted into a potential that we haven't yet seen, being right here and right now. All is well, it is done, because we are quantum leaping. Our lives, our personal lives, our greater lives, our country, our world, in the miraculous. And here we go, starting for 5 minutes, starting now. Just notice what you've noticed so far. And without trying to make anything happen, just lean in to receive one idea of something that's possible that we haven't been aware of yet. For you, for us, for the greater collective. And when you're ready, take a breath and open your eyes. How was that?
Well, for me, it definitely was an energy kind of thing. It was more, meridians being the channels of your energies and all that. It definitely came across like that to me. At one point early on, I could feel myself sort of like drifting backward, was like if I were in some sort of medical chair or something. And as I went back, I could see, in my now upside down vision behind me, a little white tree, like you'd see decorated for Christmas. And the only thing on it were these brilliant, dazzling red and silver balls. And it just, I don't know, there was no attached meaning to it or anything. Just, it was there. Very cool. And I was just, well, that's neat. So there are other things that came up during the event, during the time in, that were related to those colors. At another point in time, I was seeing white ice skates on my feet, which I've never seen a pair of ice skates before. And they were setting little small circles, which reminded me of the red and silver balls that I just see behind me. So there are a lot of repeating themes, but shapes and colors. And at one point near the end, there was like a sensation of an energy brush, like a big brush you see in a car wash. Instead of going like this, it was going, like this in a counterclockwise fashion, scrubbing my field, which was really cool. And feeling much more at ease, and I think that probably all of that had something to do with that.
That's very cool.
I didn't, no idea the particular type popped up. So nothing to report
Yeah.
on that.
Well, maybe the scrub brush is the idea.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah. Awesome.
For some reason, it seemed important that it was counterclockwise too. So.
Awesome.
I had a really hard time getting myself centered in it, and there's all kinds of little noises and the TV, and and so I kind of would go in and out. And so then I decided I needed to personally select something to focus on because I wasn't getting into that. So Nancy, I just focus on sending your hip all kinds of healing rays for the entire time. And so I hope that you received something. And it's all good no matter what, but that's what I did.
Yeah, that's a great idea. When you're just like around, just focus in. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's it fits in a way because I was a little felt delayed moving into anything but trying to get out of discomfort, and I find that and what the mind likes to do, you think this is uncomfortable, think about someone in this situation, or you're laying on the floor of a subterranean tunnel in some country, it just started coming, but it wasn't like, oh, don't be silly, don't think about that. It's just those went by. And I went, I have a bed, I have Tylenol. I didn't know I had Kate at the but I couldn't easily move to a space where I thought anything was happening. So I just latch on to our mantra. I just hang on to it like a dog with a bone, and just, but not forcefully, just keep repeating it and just keep repeating. When all else fails and my brain wants to clutter up everything, I just hone in there. And I started to feel like, and I didn't even realize what it could be, but it's like, I felt like I was plugged into something, but I was standing up and there were a lot of people standing around, and I realized later, I don't know who it was Steve. It wasn't because of anything you said, but it came up that it was like a circuit board, and I was like plugged into the circuit, and I had current running through me. So it's interesting because I wasn't conscious of thinking that Kate was actually Cindy or anybody was, and yet we do that, I think, so automatically for one another. But I'd asked, it was always good to ask for something to add, because I'm not good at, somebody will offer and I go, oh, that'd be such a great idea. But I knew I wanted whatever we were doing, whatever this all was, and the connective tissues, the allergies, bladder's been about all this stuff, that it just was so, I don't want to talk about fat degeneration because I already know what that is, except whatever. But I finally got to that part where I felt plugged in a bit, and I could feel energy starting to go through me. Wasn't having any big, wow, I'm spurting off and I'm gonna do my part to cover the universe. It was more like I was just sitting there going, This little light of mine was a widow light. Probably my hair was shinier than my light, but it was like, and that was a very pleasant place. And I felt very So nothing big, nothing spectacular, more words than it actually was in the moment of just drawing yourself back in, drawing the mind back in. And I had a realization when I had a workout on Friday, and I had one of my best. I deal with my aggravation when I have really good back-to-back workouts, and then I do something happens, and the body just goes, you're whatever, and we're just gonna torque you, whatever happens. Couldn't pin down what it was, except I got to realizing that it was no one particular exercise that did it, but I was aware after letting it come up on the times that there are times I go through the exercise programs and I'm a get her done girl. Let's get in and get her done, which oftentimes eliminates mindfulness, where you're mindful in each movement. So I'll do a movement and I might not be centered quite right. I might not be standing quite right, but by God, I'm getting my assignment done and I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm over it. Well, so many lessons in that about when you bring it in. Now, when we do it on Tuesday nights, I usually can bring it home and get stayed in a spot, stayed, not cemented, but stayed. And I realized you don't get any breaks on this. You don't get to have times off anymore. So if you're even doing something that looks like a game or exercise, it's mindfulness in each move. And that's what came back to me when I got to the point I didn't quite hurt so bad. But anyway, just sharing it, thank you for that energy.
Awesome. So much rich awareness. Yeah. And it,
That's been lovely. I hope I remember where I was. I remember the beginning, just having a lot of thoughts and trying to collect myself. And I came into I actually saw myself it was like a large meadow with a lot of those really tall, skinny blades of grass, really tall. And I was walking and just resting my hands on the grass as I walked. And it was really beautiful and peaceful. And then I noticed other people around, and it started becoming just really this the energy and I'm trying to, I don't know the words, but the community and the loving, anyway, there was a group of people it was like, I remember thinking, it was like everywhere I looked, there were different groups of people working on different things. So there were some people building buildings and other people cooking. Other people were in the garden. Other people there was a big fire pit and there were people dancing around the fire and singing and it was like, this is how it works. This is how it works. We're with everybody doing what they want to do and everybody working with other people on their teams and it all flowing together really beautifully. And at the end, when you asked the question, I don't remember what it was, but the word that came up was simplicity, that it's simple, that it's really simple.
beautiful. Beautiful. For me, it was it took me a minute because there was all the noise, all the fray. That word's come up for me a couple times today. All the fray, and then we found each other, lined up together, like in the circle facing each other, like holding arm to arm, like that little, you know, that statue with the candle in the middle, right? That seems to come up a lot in this group. And then we turned around, so our backs were to each other. And when we did that, our collective energy lifted us. We didn't do anything. It lifted us above the fray. And so it was still, all the fray was still going on, right? All the stuff was still happening, but we were in this place of spaciousness. It was gentle and quiet, but it was also very strong and powerful. There was movement in it, but we weren't moving. Like together we are the new. Very cool. Comments? No? Okay. So let's go again. Let's do, you want to do 2? Okay.
You have time?
Yeah. I mean, we're scheduled
Okay.
4:15 at least. My priority is right here. And I'll go into
Good.
my meeting when I get there. All right. We'll do 2. Here we go. Just notice what you notice. Keeping your eyes closed, let's just zing up each one of us from this place. So Nancy, Steve, Kate, Linda, Eliza, and our collective. And then we just expand it out across the globe. Just expand it. What we do for ourselves, we do for the world. What we do for the world, we do for each other and ourselves. Today, we do it for the world. Without expectations, we call forth miraculous outcomes in every arena of the world, our lives, our bodies, ourselves. Take a deep breath. Notice what you notice. When you're ready, open your eyes. And how was that one?
You know, I stuck with your, the circle of friends, and it's so interesting you said that because I had just pulled one out of a box of all the stuff packed away, and I made it as far as sitting in on the front steps by my bench, but it's not going to stay there, but that's where it went. So I see it every time I go outside. And so when you had that imagery, we went back in it, and at first I thought, oh, we'll have our backs. But that didn't feel right. It was just like it came back into a circle. But we used to put that in the center of our drum circles. And so, and it always, remember the drumming called in so much else and from all over the universe we discovered. So I was feeling that rhythm kind of going through. I can't say I heard the drumming, but I felt the rhythm without hearing the drum. I just was feeling the vibration of it. And as we got higher, I thought, I don't have to work this hard at it tonight. I just don't have to. I don't have to do that. And when I could relate to cranky earlier, and I thought I was getting cranky about stuff because things weren't just laying out in the schedule I thought that we ought to get stuff, and it's so much. So what's the worst? What's the best case scenario? No, for a day, and you make a choice. You make a choice. You just keep making choices. So I really felt that energy at the end, just very quiet, not like many of the experiences. It was so gentle. It was just so, I can't even call it sweet because that puts a different layer on it. It was just gentle, like almost like a fluffy blanket being that I was sitting in and could come around. So, and I felt very connected again. So, now I haven't tried to walk or get up from my chair, but sitting, which is a challenge, my hip isn't aching like it did at the beginning. So we're all grateful in here, just we're all grateful in this. And there was a part of me realizing that, we do a lot of this work on our nights, but it's going on all the time. And I had the awareness that goes, every once in a while, my body just can't quite go at that pace. And so sometimes I have to remember to only go as, and not to slow me down. It's not about that, but to just step back a moment and honor and go, oh, it's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Hey,
You know, I had a similar experience with the circle and the gentle. And also, you know, once I got myself above the fray, it's a whole different world. I'm like, look, the fray's gone. So I just loved that. So thank you.
beautiful.
That's what I was feeling like I didn't have much to report, but it's because that's where I was also, that lifting above it all. There was so much that spaciousness, that expansiveness and peacefulness that it just, I was just basking in that and enjoying. I felt like I was participating with the planet, and I liked that energy, that experience.
Beautiful. Steve.
Well, I had my circle stuff going on again. This time there was a white bull who was like circling me counterclockwise again, going in circles. Not like he was trying to attack me or anything, but almost more close than comfort allowed. I'm going to stand very still, just allow this to occur, whatever's going on. And that was it. I mean, there was no other words or any kind of sense that came up out of that, other than the moment with the bull.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I kind of went back to the circle too, but what I experienced was that kind of what I said already, actually, before I brought us out of it, but that we hold each other, right? And when one of us or all of us are having off days, we still have the container. The circle is the container. And when we step above, step is not the right word, but when we allow ourselves to be, let me say it this way, when we allow ourselves to not be distracted by the fray, we are living more and more. It's like we don't have to reach for it anymore. It's already there, but we can lean on each other to just pop there. It's almost like, if you're, the pool games where you're on each other's shoulders, like, lifting the person up out of the water, like that, without even conscious thought. And then the other piece was really about remembering that we're doing this for the world. Like, because it takes us, I used to say this a lot in Unity churches, it takes us out of navel gazing about our own problems, right? Oh no, we're going to line up for the greater good of the world. And then all of a sudden we feel better. So that was good.
Can I add a thought that I think for myself, what I did was I didn't make any big pronouncement to the universe or anything. I didn't ask for anything, but I allowed myself to receive what I'm usually conscious of, wanting to be a part that is giving it. So just to, when I said that, like plugged into a circuit board, it just dawned me, it's like almost like an electric car where you just sometimes you gotta, and we were not staying in, we voiced our stuff, you cough up those hairballs. Like I've always said that you cough up a hairball and it's gone almost as soon as you cough it up. But then you like, it was like being plugged in, is the best phrase I can come up with, to get recharged, get refilled, to then, and then the shift was so easy, but we allowed it to be personal as well as universal in a different way for me tonight.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And we do, if we're off or unfilled, we have to fill our tanks. We have to complete that circuit. Absolutely. And for me, that's part of what we do here every week. Is we're rewiring our circuits. All right. Last comments? All right. Oh, Steve.
Oh, no. Say bye and love you all.
Love you all. Love you. Love you. Linda, have a fabulous.
Yeah.
Hope we see you next week, but we understand if we don't. But let your sisters take care of your mom so you can. All right. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.